My name's Laurie Bacon. I'm a sculptor and I work raw materials with my hands. With my work, it feels like a very true instinct about how materials should be used. Maybe it's about a primitive connection to shaping forms around yourself and creating something out of nothing just with your hands.
My name's Alison Britton. I'm a potter and I've worked in this studio in Hackney since the 80s. I make things by hand, I'm not throwing, and I don't make things twice. I've always wanted to make pots, but I'm not particularly interested in function. The pot is a form for me that you can play with and you can hopefully change some of the rules about it in a way. My main preoccupation, I think, is making the form that I've arrived at work also as a painting.
I'm Neal Brown. I'm an artist who lives and works in Stoke-on-Trent. The basis of my work reflects upon the history of place and labour in Stoke-on-Trent with specific reference to the ceramics industry. I'm very much interested in the performative element of work. So I kind of work with people who've been employed in the ceramics industry who still have that knowledge and repurpose and reimagine those skills.
My name is Lin Cheung, I'm a jewellery artist. I make jewellery to express ideas I have on things I hear and see, out there in the world. They're often pieces to wear, or they comment about jewellery, so the subject of wearing something, why you might wear something, what it might mean, what it might say about yourself, your identity, or how you feel about something.
I'm Phoebe Cummings. I'm an artist that works with clay. So I'm kind of using very traditional ceramic processes, but the outcome of that is usually more temporary sculpture. A big part of my work is the potential for clay to kind of endlessly be remade, that after I've made an object it can then be dissolved and recycled into something else.
My name's Karen Hartley and I make bespoke bicycles from steel and stainless steel. I trained as a jeweller and a silversmith, and then I kind of moved more into sculpture and making objects. What I find really interesting with making bikes is they have to be functional. It's being creative, but you've got these really strict boundaries to do that within, and that kind of, I think, probably makes you work harder.
I'm Peter Marigold. I'm a kind of designer maker. I don't see my way of thinking as being restricted to one material. It's more about working with interesting processes that have a strong narrative. Usually a project emerges out of me being somewhere and seeing a particular material or a particular process that's been applied to different materials, and that generally has a kind of resonance for me.
My name's Celia Pim, I'm a textile artist. The last 10 years I've been really engaged with darning and repair work. So someone comes to me with their sweater and I'll repair it for them. But my interest is really in the opportunity through mending to talk to that person. I find if I ask someone if they have holes in their clothes and could we talk about them, something real gets said that really interests me about grief or maybe about loss or maybe just about love.
I'm Romilly Somers-Smith. I work with 3 women who I call my translators, who translate my work because I can no longer use my hands. We work from this house making jewellery and boxes. I think it's a bit like if you're blind, you hear better. My mind is crammed full of stuff that I'm not sure was there before.
I'm Andrea Walsh. I'm an artist working with ceramics, glass and metal. Throughout my practice, I've always been interested in looking at the subject of the vessel, the idea of something contained, something that appears precious or of value. And with that comes so many other associations, really. You know, holding something very special. It could be something very, very personal. It could be something much more abstract. It could be holding light, in a sense.
I'm Emma Woofenden and I'm a glassmaker. I cast with glass and I work with glass blowers, and then I cut and construct and make my sculpture like that. I work very strongly with form, so each part of that figure that I'm building will have a very particular shape to the millimetre, to the angle, so they have a sort of tension and quite a lot of poise.
My name's Laurie Oxen. I'm a sculptor. I work in leather and vellum, and I use a lot of traditional bookbinding techniques. Most of my work is about the natural world and our relationship with the natural world. Quite a lot of my stuff is very intricate and beautiful. Some of my work is more scientifically accurate than others. Some of it is fact, some of it is fiction, but I like to mix those things together.